Hey guys, this is Shaft, and welcome to part 3 of episode 6 of this week. With me today is SG's Matt C, as well as Stuzh. Stuzh is also going to be playing in this faggoty ass game. So, hey, Stuzh, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to be casting a game of my own for one of the first times.
Nice. Yeah, are you gonna like criticize yourself? Are you one of those players, or are you just gonna be like, dude, I'm awesome, watch this?
I'll criticize myself
Okay.
because I want to learn from my mistakes.
I see. That's definitely a healthy attitude to take. Well, here in the bottom left-hand corner of Star Station, which is a map we are going to discuss in more detail after we introduce these two fine folks, is the red pantied Terran, ErikTheRed. And over here in the top right-hand, what'd I say?
Terran.
Wow. These things happen.
Off to a good start.
Now, here in the top right-hand corner is the blue faggot who just corrected me. It's Stuzh! So this is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss. Looks like we have an Infinity 7 player. Is that IS right now?
Yeah.
Okay, thinking so. Alright, and then obviously, Stuzh. So how is PvP faring on Star Station? Is it also one of those matchups, where you're going to see a lot of Protoss air? Or can we expect something different here from you?
Well, air openings are common in PvP now because in the last part of Winds of Liberty, people did Phoenix a lot, but now with the Void Ray buff and also the Oracle, there are a lot of opportunities for Stargate openings. So
you mentioned the Void Ray buff earlier, just in case some people haven't read the changelogs. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
So the Void Ray buff basically makes it so instead of having to charge up on a building or a unit like in Wings, you just press, I think it's E for auto charge,
okay.
And it charges for like 20 seconds and has a cooldown. And this charge only gives bonus damage to armored units. So against something like Stalkers, Void Rays kill them really fast compared to Wings.
As well as like roaches, but they're still really terrible against Zerglings.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, makes perfect sense, guys. Makes perfect sense. So we've actually got 2 gateways on the way, followed by a cyber core, and that's actually happening for both of these players. When can we expect the first one to take an expansion?
Well, this is basically a tree stock rush from Winds of Liberty. But for me, it seems like it's added on like a little bit of a new dynamic because I'm also trying to get the mothership core in, but I'm trying to allocate all my resources. Like, I'm starting the mothership core now. So I have to make a Zealot instead of a Stalker for one of my gateway units since I don't have enough gas.
So how important is the mothership core?
I think the mothership core is important. Once it builds up energy, it can overcharge the Nexus. Use Front Overcharge on the Nexus to defend against possible attacks. Time Warp can also catch some units out on the map if you have it with your initial pressuring units.
Okay. So this is looking like it's turning into just, your standard timing attack macro game. However, you are getting a Twilight Council quite a bit sooner than your opponent. What are your reasons for that?
Well, I was just experimenting to see if I could do a blink timing because with the mothership core you don't need the observer to get high ground vision, so I wanted to do a blink timing.
Okay, so this is just your experiment. You're like, oh, sure, Shaft, this is a game I played half-assed. I wasn't sure what I was doing. I see how it is, dude. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Got him.
Yeah, must have had too much vodka that day, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, dude. I think it's great. It's very important to be flexible when you play. You sometimes you see scouting and you'll scout it, and you might not have been planning something. You might not have even done a build order to get to that end game, but sometimes it's better to go ahead and switch up what you're doing based on what you scout. So no, man, I'm completely
One mistake that I did make was I chronoed my cyber when it was almost done instead of chronoing blink.
What? Why would you do that? Come on.
I know, disappointments.
Alright, so let's see here.
So let's go ahead and pause this for a second. I want to take a look at our count here. We have 5 Stalkers and a Zealot here for Stuzh, not to mention his own mothership core. versus 5 Stalkers and, again, a Mothership Core. So the only real difference here is the Zealot proxy pylon. You're actually going to be able to, warp in. However, he's got a Robo facility, but he probably won't be able to get a unit out of the Robo in time to deal with this battle.
But also keep in mind that my blink is really late.
True.
So he might be able to get an Immortal out, or even 2, in time for this battle.
Gotcha, yeah. Definitely. Alright, well, let's go ahead and see what ends up happening here. Immortal is started, and he's gonna...
Also, his Mothership Core used the Time Warp here that really didn't do anything, which means that he won't have Photon Overcharge in time.
Right, and that's actually just killing movement speed, so he could, if you were trying to bait in and out. I think actually let's talk about this for a second. I think that Time Warp did do a lot, because he was really like shitting his pants right there. I mean, he's like, oh my god, if he hits me right now, I don't have Immortals. So he drops that, because for 30 seconds, guess what? Your Stalkers aren't hitting up that fucking ramp. I think that's what he's thinking there.
Okay. And also, he didn't have a Sentry at the time, so he might have been buying time to get the Sentry out.
Right. Yeah, that did buy him a lot. Now, you are going to go ahead and push up. You got your own Sentry. When in Rome, right?
Yeah. Now I can pick off this pylon.
And you also have vision up the ramp, so you'll be able to blink on in, basically whenever you want to. Now, you see that Immortal, so you know you're going to have to be a little more careful. What is going to tell you it's going to time to blink?
Well, I'm warping in some Zealots, so when my Zealots are in front to tank, I can just start to blink in and kill the Immortal.
Gotcha.
Alright.
I think this is risky play by him making this in there.
Yeah.
Instead of Immortal. And he's still Twilight for the second.
Is he cutting out for you, Matt?
Yeah, he is cutting out.
Could you repeat that for us, Stuzh? It was really hard to hear you.
He started his second Immortal after an Observer and the Twilight Council.
Yeah, that's gonna cut into his Immortal production, and quite honestly, he needs those Immortals to stay alive here. In fact, oh my god, dude, you've got like nearly double his army count.
Yeah.
What the hell? He's done. Dude, if this Immortal doesn't come out, if you blink up right now, come on. No, you're letting him get the Immortal. Why? Why would you do that? Why? I'm waiting.
Stuzh just wants to say why we're gonna have force fields come down here, trapping the armies up a little bit.
I blinked so the Zealots can get up, and the Stalkers can start targeting down that Immortal.
Oh man, but those Immortals are ripping you apart here.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. So actually, it looks like, is he gonna hold? Oh, nice little warp in here, but the Time Warp is against you. Now you're killing off his Mothership Core. If you can get the Mothership Core and the Immortals, whoa, dude, wow.
And it's hard to say because 2 of these Time Warps are mine, and 1 was his.
Yeah, that's true as well. Definitely.
You just got those 2 hero zealots in your base.
There's the 3rd Immortal. Alright.
Wow.
These seconds at the end.
Yep.
On cooldown, I work.
And no GG from ErikTheRed. Apparently Vikings do not have good manners.
I don't know, would he be a Viking or a communist?
No, ErikTheRed was a Viking.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't actually know that.
Yeah. I love history, guys. I should mention this. Yeah, well, that being said, man, I liked that game, but I think there was things both players could have done better. You said, your blink was a little bit late. I liked the positional game he was playing on that ramp, but really what killed him there, like you mentioned, was the Observer. Plain, simple, period. All right.
And not only the...
Go ahead.
And not only the Observer, he also got a Twilight Council before starting the second Immortal as well.
Yeah, so did he even use that Twilight Council?
No, he did not.
He never used it. He never even started researching anything on it.
Wasted minerals, wasted gas. He got no advantage out of it. Those could have been units. GG, period. Well, guys, thanks for tuning into this episode. Please hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Remember, this is part 3 of a 4-part episode. So in the bottom right corner, please go ahead and click on over to part number 4.